Before I start, let me just ask you, if you dislike the video, please explain in comments why you dislike the video, so I can improve on that. I got few dislikes on my last video and I don't know what I did wrong. With that being said, let's start with our stories. Entitled Mom hits me with her car, blames it on me and assaults me. After telling some stories about my past, I have now brought all of you to the present, and by the present I mean yesterday, so technically still in the past. My head hurts. Anyway, I was walking home from a friend's house, and on my way back I was walking close to a curb, but not exactly next to it. I wasn't focusing since I was listening to music, and suddenly I saw a car go onto part of the pavement and the side mirror hit me in the gut, and it hurt bad. I was trying to catch my breath by leaning on the wall opposite, and that's when she stepped out of the car, showing all her ugly glory. The conversation went as follows. "What do you think you're doing?" Me, coughing. You hit me with your car." "You broke my side mirror, you have to pay for that." "You went onto the pavement, hit me with it and expect me to pay." That's when she walked up to me and punched me in my gut. Reader note. Alright, I would've murdered her right now, if I was there. And a reader note. Right where she hit me with the car, punched me multiple times, rings and all. I swear I coughed up blood. She then noticed my phone and tries to take it. "If you're not going to pay, I'll just take your phone and bracelet as a compensation." This crossed the line. This phone is one thing, but my bracelet is another. That bracelet holds so much value to me. Those who have been reading my stories for a while know that I'm trans. And this bracelet is one that I got from my parents when they were in Tunisia, and it says Laura in Arabic. I love this bracelet. I resisted as much as I could, all the while screaming, and that's when I saw another woman, who will be known as Hero, push her away from me. "He took my daughter's phone and bracelet from her." I saw her daughter in the car. She could not be older than 8, and again, misgendering me. Hero. I saw everything. Turns to me. "Are you okay?" Me, still coughing. "I think so. Although I did cough up blood not too long ago." Hero. "What's your name?" Me. "Laura." Hero. "I'll call an ambulance." Turns to Entitled Mom. "I suggest you leave before I make you." Noise. Entitled Mom. But he... Now. The Entitled Mom left. I went to the hospital. I didn't have any serious injuries, but she left a massive purple bruise on my stomach. While at the hospital, Hero said that she took a pic of her registration plate and will report her to the police. We exchanged phone numbers and she stayed with me until I could leave the hospital, which was late last night. Still feeling the pain, but it's not as bad as what it was. Edit. I spoke with Hero about details and went to the police station with the evidence and information we have and locate the Entitled Mom. Said that if we could get a court case sometime in August, late July at the earliest. Once a date has been confirmed, I shall let you know. I wanted to sell my old car, but ES wants my new car, so Entitled Dad and ES steal it. Backstory. I have to go back a bit for that. In April 2018, it was the last day we had freezing temperatures and heavy snow. On that day, on my way home from work, I had an accident with my 2006 Ford Focus. I crashed into a driver in front of me because I underestimated the frozen road. Don't worry, neither me nor the driver I crashed into were harmed in any way. His car had a scratch in the back bumper, while my car's front bumper broke at the side. Police was called, we exchanged information, and that was the end of it. So I had to bring my car to the mechanics again, and I had enough of it. I owned the car for almost 2 years and had to make several repairs already, so I thought whatever and tried to get a new car. I brought my Focus to a friend of mine, who made a little extra by repairing cars. A co-worker of mine gave me a ride to work until I had a new car. I paid my share for the gas. Now to the present. Around a month ago I found a new car, finally. A car dealer had a car where they would sell cars with daily admissions for 10,000 euros less than the original price. After a short time thinking and some dealing with my bank account manager, I'm now the owner of a 2018 Ford Focus ST Line Sport Edition. Completely black except for roof and top half of the side mirrors, which were red. The car is great, and when I bought it, it only had around 15 miles. Sorry for the long backstory onto the actual encounter. After I bought the new car, I put my old Focus up for a sale in an app called AutoScout24, where everyone can sell their cars for how much they want for it. Of course, it depends on age, miles, etc. Most of the damages were fixed. Me and my SO cleaned it inside and outside, but I knew I wouldn't get much for it. so I put the base price at 350 euros with the option of bargaining. In my first post I told you that I live in the old town of my home city. So in order not to occupy parking spaces and to avoid parking tickets, I parked my car at my grandma's place in the driveway. Her house is on the countryside, so it won't bother anyone, and I could take good picture for the ad. 2 days ago, while I was at work, I got a call from an unknown number. The guy left a message that he wanted to take a look at the car. I called him back, told him where the car was, and that we could meet there after my shift was finished. He agreed. After I'm done with my shift, I drove immediately to my grandma's place to wait for him. Cast: ED entitled Dead, ES entitled Son, around 17-18. Me, Master of Disaster, GM Grandma. Me and entitled Dad agreed on meeting 15:30. I was there early, parked next to my old Focus. Went inside to tell my grandma I sell the car today and checked if everything was still alright. Entitled Dad and entitled Son arrived half an hour later than agreed, explaining the place was hard to find. I shrugged it off because I could tell they weren't from around here. So me and DD take a look around the car. I explain everything to him, fix damages, etc. He asks me about how many miles, HP, etc. The usual stuff. While I talk with entitled Dad, I noticed that entitled Son wasn't paying any attention. The car was supposed for entitled Son according to entitled Dad. Entitled Son rather likes to take a look at my new Focus instead. Entitled Son: damn, that's a nice ride. Thanks. Can I take a ride? Now I'm very picky if it's about my new car, but who wouldn't? And by the way, I had a feeling he didn't have his driver's license for very long. Sorry, not happening, I just got the car a few weeks ago. Entitled Dad: come on, let the boy have a little fun. Sorry, still not happening. And by the way, we are talking about my 2006 Focus, not my new one. But I like this car. You heard him, he likes this one. So how about you sell us this one instead? Yeah, right. And how much would you pay me anyway? Well, the ad said 350 euros. Yes, for the 2006 Ford Focus. Fine, I give you 3k euros for the new one. Are you serious? I paid 30,000 for this car. 30,000 was the original price, but with the deal I got it for 20k. Well, you drove a car for a while, and that's a price drop. Sorry, this is leading nowhere. We are done. I turned to my car, pulled the key out of my pocket and just wanted to go home. Dad, I want that car. Entitled Dad grabs me by the arm. You heard him, hand over the keys. Okay, this just turned into a robbery. Now, I'm a little heavy built, but I'm still strong enough to fight if I have to. I said no, and I would recommend you let me go now. While my eyes were staring at Entitled Dad, Entitled Kid snatched the keys from my hand, unlocked the car and jumped in. I immediately freed myself from Entitled Dad and ran to the driver's door of my car. A little fool locked the door, so I did the only thing I could and stood behind my car to prevent him from leaving. He could only back out of the driveway. Me: tell your kid to get out of the car before I call the police. In the commotion, my grandma came outside. Grandma: what's going on? Me: Grandma, go inside and call the police, they tried to steal my... I couldn't finish my sentence because Entitled Dad shoved me aside so Entitled Son could drive away. Well, he surprised me. I hit the ground hard and they drove off in my car, while leaving their car behind. I immediately grabbed my phone and called the police. As I mentioned in the backstory, my new Focus was completely black except for the roof and the top of the side mirrors, which were red, which means that car stood out among the most which are around my home city. It took police 10 minutes to arrive. One of the officers took my and my grandma's statement, while the other one radioed his colleagues from the neighboring towns the description and license plate of my car. About an hour later, ED and DS came back to the house with my car. The two policemen jumped them at sight, pulled them out of the car and cuffed them. Entitled Dad tried to talk him and his son out of the situation, by telling the police they only did a test drive. The police had none of their BS and escorted them anyway. They asked me if I wanted to press charges and I agreed. More importantly, I checked my car for damage. It had around 20 miles more than before and I found ash and cigarette burns on my backseat. I still have to wait for a court date and if possible I keep you updated. P.S. Their car was later picked up by the wife of Entitled Dad, who told me she is very sorry for their behavior. Nice. If you commit a crime, you don't return to the place of crime. Oh my god. Pregnant woman yells at me at obstetrician gynecologist. So I'm not sure when exactly a woman becomes an entitled mom while pregnant, but this pregnant manatee certainly seemed entitled. So I was at the gynecologist for my ultrasound, cysts, not pregnant, and the wait is always a bit long. The doctor is great and always has a packed schedule. Pregnant Manatee, or PM, was sitting in the waiting room complaining about her appointment was 30 minutes late and she shouldn't have to wait this long cause she was pregnant and priority. I decided to gently let her know that it's usually a bit backed up here. Me, hey, I totally get it. Dr. S is really great, but she's usually a few minutes behind. Excuse me? Did I ask you? Stop being so nosy. That's probably why you're here by yourself. What was that supposed to mean? Your baby dad ain't here with you, and I don't see a ring on you. You're just a noisy hussy. I responded with a snap decision that I regret slightly. Just a reminder, I'm not pregnant. Me. My husband died in a freak car accident. We were very close. This baby is all I have to remember him by. PM shut her mouth and I was called back quickly after. Turns out my doctor overheard the conversation and wanted to separate us because she was worried about my baby. I explained that I wasn't actually pregnant and I just wanted the woman to shut up. My doctor thought it was funny and gave me a picture of my ultrasound for when I was done. I walked out holding it and fake crying. PM was completely red and embarrassed for how she had been so rude and judgmental. She didn't apologize, but I hope she leaves other girls alone in the future, especially when they are just trying to be friendly about annoying wait times. Edit. It was my own picture from my ultrasound. I have to get my cysts monitored because I just got an IUD to help keep them from rupturing. The car story was most interesting for me. Leave your opinion in the comments below. Also tell me why you liked or disliked the video and I'll improve on that. I read and answer every comment. Until the next time, stay awesome.